it feels good to be back. It truly has been a while since I made my last Touhou theory video, and it's about time I got back to it. But don't get me wrong, the fact that there hasn't been any theories lately surprisingly isn't due to my laziness. In fact, I once again had one bigger project on hand, but I'll tell you more about it in the end of the video. And I also have something else to tell you too, so I hope that this got you interested. But this intro has gone for far too long already, so it's time to dig in. Today's topic contains huge amounts of speculations and very little facts, but I think that I just had to cover this topic sooner or later, and it seems that now is perfect moment for that. And what is the topic that I'm speaking about? I can hear some of you asking. Well, the topic is in its simplicity the Big Four and what Zun is planning to do with it. Yep, Suika and Yugi are finally going to get their own spot, and few other characters are going to get too. So without any further ado, let's dig in. A little bit trivia for those who aren't familiar with the Big Four. The Big Four is, well, let's say that it's a group who operate as leaders of all Oni back when they still lived above ground. About 60 years ago, almost all Oni moved to the underground and swore to watch over the vengeful spirits that lived there. The Big Four separated back then, and Yugi is known to be the only member of Big Four who is currently living in Underground City, so we could call her as the current leader of Oni of some sort. Okay, so the first thing that we know for sure is that we know the identities of two members of the Big Four already. Yugi Hoshikuma and Suika Ibuki. Suika is a good friend of Yugi's, but she returned to above ground and decided to live there instead of underground. Now it's really important to remember that Yukari was involved in the events that led to Oni's exodus to underground. In fact, she was the one who persuaded them to do so. When Suika returned to above ground, she and Yukari knew each other already, so that explains why they are so good friends. In fact, she is shown to know quite a lot about Yukari. She is also said to be quite sad and angry that Oni have lost most of their influence, and she has shown desire to bring them back above ground, like in the events of Immaterial and Missing Power, but she hasn't been too serious in her attempts. It seems that she doesn't like the fact that Oni have returned to underground, but she doesn't carry a grudge towards anybody either. Now when we have covered all the main details of Yugi and Suika, we can move to the good part. And now I'm sure that you all saw this one coming, but oh well. We all know that it's pretty obvious that cousin Ibaraki is actually Oni. Heck, she's even based on one important Oni from Japanese folklore, so she is an Oni, and that's that. One interesting thing also is that Shuten Doji, the Oni from which Suika is most likely based from, was related really closely to the Ibaraki Doji, the Oni which cousin is based on. So much in fact that they have been said to be lovers, but there's no evidence that this is canon in Touhou. Also in the folklore, after Ibaraki was defeated and had fled, Ibaraki returned to assail humans once again, but Watanabe no Tsuna cut Ibaraki's one arm off, and Ibaraki fled once again. This could really easily explain why cousin has lost her arm, and it seems that she has been really hostile towards humans in the past. This could also explain why cousin is posing as a hermit. Maybe she doesn't want to be hostile with humans anymore and is hiding her Oni self because of it. So it's pretty clear that she's an Oni, but what if I told you that she is most likely the third member of the Big Four? Well, I think that it was quite obvious too, but hey, it was dramatic, no? The way I see it is that she really well could be the third member of the Big Four, and for one simple reason. The fact that she knew Suika and Yuki really well and called them as her old friends. She tried to avoid Suika at first, but Suika found her and recognized her immediately. Suika saw immediately that she wasn't a hermit, like she claimed to be. Suika said that she was just posing as one, which highly indicates that they were really close when they knew each other. So if or when her true species gets revealed, I swear that if she isn't an Oni and member of a Big Four, I'll eat a hatful of shit because it's just too obvious. But now is the moment that you all been waiting for. There's still one missing member, and I believe that we may be close about getting the last member revealed. Now, I think that there is only two possibilities about who it could be, and why is that? Well, look at the calendar. It's 2016. It's exactly 20 years since the first Touhou game was made, and it was released a year later. So the thing I'm talking about could also happen next year when it's 2017. But anyhow, the thing I'm talking about is that it's 20th anniversary for Touhou, and I'm expecting something great to happen. Maybe we get a character from PC98 era to make return, or we get the fourth member of the Big Four introduced. Or we may get both. Now we get to the speculation that I was talking about, because I think that there is a chance that Kongara might return, and if he does, he could very well be the fourth member of the Big Four. We don't know for sure if he is an Oni, but the horn in his forehead and the sake dish-like object in his hand really highly suggest that he might be an Oni. But let's face it, this is really unlikely to happen, because if we ever get the fourth member, Zun will most likely just create a new character, and Zun has stated that the characters from Highly Responsive to Prayers will most likely never return. Well, except Mima, but Mima is a Mima. But even if it's unlikely, there's still one connection that could somehow indicate Kongara being an Oni, and maybe even a member of the Big Four. Because if the timeline theory from my fifth theory is correct, the events of Highly Responsive to Prayers would happen somewhere around when Oni moved to Underground. That's an awfully suspicious connection. In the HRTP, Kongara was defeated in Hell, but PC98 Hell and Windows Hell are said to be different places. But yet again, there's some room for speculations, because you see, when Oni moved to the Underground, the Hell was located in the place that we know today as the Underground City. The Hell has since moved deeper underground, and the place has changed dramatically after that. So there might be a slight chance that the Hell we fight Kongara in might be the same Hell as in the Windows games after all. It has just changed a lot after that. So there's a chance that we might see more about Kongara, but it's really small chance, even if there are some connections. Also, if the HRTP takes place near the events in which Oni went underground, the events of that game could be related to that, because we don't know much about the plot of HRTP. Maybe Kongara didn't like the fact that Oni were driven underground and decided to fight back or something like that. I don't know, but forgive me, I slipped away from the topic like I always do. And yes, I believe that Kongara actually is a he instead of she, because in the HRTP, Kongara's gender is never mentioned, and the folk lore character to which Kongara is based is actually a male. So we could pretty safely assume that Kongara is a male too. So, if or when we finally get the fourth member of the Big Four revealed, what will happen? A simple incident, Oni uprising, a war, or nothing at all? It's impossible to guess, but something tells me that something big will happen. We just have to wait and see what Sun will make. So here you have it. This wasn't as serious theory as the last one, but it's just as I wanted. I wanted this to be a bit more let's just say lighthearted, but anyhow, I promised to tell you why I haven't made any theories lately, and the reason is that I've been busy with the same fanfiction that I mentioned a while back. I decided to make it longer and better, and now it's finally complete. I'll put the links to all 3 chapters into description if some of you are interested in reading them. I also thought that it would be best if I concentrated on one thing at a time, so yeah. I also said that there would be something else too, so here we go. I'm sure that some of you might remember that I mentioned some sort of ultimate truth in one of my past theories, and I thought that now would be a good time to reveal what that is. You see, my true goal with these videos is to make perfect timeline for Touhou lore with all major events and without any real plot holes like it tends to be. It's a really ambitious project, I know, but that's why I have you. You can help me by commenting about what do you think about these topics I'm talking about. Everything helps. Critics and ideas are welcome. With every video we get closer to this ultimate truth of ours, and let's hope that we get there someday. But yeah, I think that this was quite everything that there was to say, so please tell me your opinion about this big 4. Do you think that Kongara might return, or will Zun just create a completely new character? But like always, remember that this isn't canon and this is just a theory. But who knows, maybe this will actually turn out to be true. Also, if you have any theory ideas, please leave them in the comments, I'd be happy to hear them. But for now, I have to bid you a farewell. My name is Touhou, and we'll see in the next video.